how is it possible to be enthusiastic about professing our profession of faith? I believe in one God, the Father Almighty. We say it every week on Sunday. But what leads up to it is what would make us want to really profess it. At the beginning of Mass, we come up the aisle, priest kisses the altar, and then we have our sins forgiven, and then we come to the Liturgy of the Word. And the Liturgy of the Word, for many of us, can be rather boring when you think about it, especially if there's a long reading, maybe from Samuel or the book of Ezekiel, and we don't connect with it with our own life's experience. And so we drift off. I want to go see that movie tonight. I hear it's a really good one, but I'm going to go shopping and maybe we'll have dinner together with the friends and the family. The word of the Lord, thanks be to God. That ever happened to you? It happens to all of us. A good antidote for the Liturgy of the Word being boring is to simply, as the lector is going up to the pulpit, to say, Lord, I'm making an act of faith. That there's something in this first reading, second reading, or gospel that's meant for nobody else in this church today. Maybe it's a word, maybe it's a phrase, maybe it's a sentence. Surprise me, Lord. The Lord never fails to answer that prayer. So that after having that phrase jump out at you, you say to the Lord, reveal the meaning of that to me in a specific, concrete way during my week this week, so that when you come to the profession of faith, you will be more enthusiastic. And to be enthusiastic means to be in God. Then later on, we're going to receive Jesus himself. And when we receive Jesus himself, he is trying to change you and me into the person, into the disciple that he has called us to be. We pray and tell him what we want of him when we receive communion, and that's good. But one of the things we rarely do when we receive communion is to say, okay, what do you want of me? And the way we find out what he wants of us is to reflect back on that word, that phrase, that sentence that we heard during the Liturgy of the Word. So that when the priest says the Mass is ended, go in peace, we won't say thanks be to God, but we'll say thanks be to God.